There it is.
I'm Charles Holmes, the Ringer Music Show.
And I'm Cole Kushner from Dissect, and Charles and I are teaming up to create Last Song Standing, a new show where we determine an artist's single best song by debating our way through their entire catalog.
And for our first season, we're covering Kendrick Lamar. We're talking Good Kid to Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale, the mixtapes, the Lucy's, and the features.
Listen to Last Song Standing on the Dissect podcast feed, only on Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see them coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't get it. Like, I hit every point today, had the amazing moments. I mean, we literally were just talking about, like, she feels so strongly for me, and, like, I just can't see something connecting on a deeper level than that.
Like, getting it after I crushed today, and that would be like, I'm rolling into hometowns and I'm about to put Zach out, or put Avon out, or anybody else who tries to in these waters. You're toast. Done. Let's roll.
Tino's acting like a real baby back bitch.
Yeah. I mean, won the day.
You know?
I'd be feeling pretty good about myself if I won today.
Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. I am here with Callie Curry. Hi, Callie.
Hello.
I don't know why, but I just feel like I haven't talked to you in a really long time, although it's the standard 1 week. So it's great to see you. Great to be chatting with you.
I feel like a lot has happened in 7 days. So maybe
true.
That's why.
We've aged a lot. Bachelor Nation has aged a lot.
For sure.
I want to make a bold proclamation, and then we will discuss it as we get into it beat by beat. I think this has to be, if not the worst, certainly the weirdest episode of The Bachelorette ever. This was a really bizarre episode. I mean, we're just going to start with the Nate stuff because that's where the episode began.
No. We have to start with the very, very beginning. It's Rachel narrating, and she's like, I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys. Like, we got so lucky. And I'm like, and she's like, I feel so special. And I'm like, do you? Because so far we haven't seen that. And out of your group, who is there?
I don't know. We'll go through all of that. It's a great question. I also want to note, she was like, this is an incredible bucket list opportunity. I'm so happy to be here. She kept emphasizing how happy she was to be with the Tulips. That date that was with Zach, I think, right?
Yeah, Zach.
Hannah Brown had that exact date with Jed, like to a T. The camera angles were the same. It was exactly the same. So, I mean, like, did she see it on TV and she's looking forward to it? But I don't know. And you're so right. Like, I don't know what Rachel could possibly be talking about, like, unless she had a personality transplant or insomnia or amnesia or something.
Yeah, I'm like, what we've watched so far, you seem like you're in a really bad place and you haven't been happy and you don't feel special and they don't make you feel special. Let's be honest about that.
You're so right. I can't believe I was going to skip over that. And then when Gabby and Rachel are sitting having their coffee or whatever they're having, and then Jesse comes over. Once again, Rachel looks like substitute teacher who got called into work, and Gabby looks like she's, wearing nothing underneath a trench coat type of thing. So,
It's nonstop. It's nonstop.
Unbelievable. I thought it was Rachel's off day. I was like, oh, she's just here to like bid Gabby farewell. But no, she had her one-on-one that day as well. And it was so weird. But yes?
Like, I wonder if this will be addressed at some point. Like, I need after the final rose or whatever, like, I need someone to ask the question, what was going on?
Who do you want to be asked that? The stylist? Rachel? Like, who
I want
do you want to
Rachel.
hear from?
I want to know from Rachel, like, did you pick your outfits? Because, like, is it your fault or the stylist's fault?
I think what happens is there's like a wardrobe closet and there's like a bunch of options to pick from, and then they pick what they pick. So I think it's a combination. But I think like I want to be like, do you like how you looked on the show? Because she doesn't look bad. It's just like hard to believe this is what you would choose.
No, I think her face looks beautiful. I think she looks horrible. It's beyond bad. It's horrible. And there's been moments of like, oh, it's okay. But I also feel like my like bar for her is so low that if she wears a white t-shirt and jeans, I'm like, fantastic look. Like it's just been so bad. And the difference between her and Gabby is inexplicable, which makes it even worse.
Because with Katie's season, Katie was very casual as well. She wore a lot of like jeans and t-shirts, but her clothes were more fitted, and she also seemed really comfortable in those clothes.
Yeah.
Like she seemed like she was happy with them, and that's like how she wanted to present herself. Rachel doesn't seem comfortable.
Katie's clothes were casual, but not bad. Like Rachel's clothes are bad.
Yes, I agree with you. Like Katie, you know the brand The Great? It's like $90 t-shirts. That's what it looked like Katie was wearing the whole time. Like expensive jeans and expensive t-shirts. Which like we didn't see, which we don't see often on the show, but it's like a style that's like recognizable, and she looked comfortable, like we said. Rachel, I'm just like,
is it a style that's recognizable, or is it a style that 99% of people wear every day? Like,
okay, it's that.
Katie's wasn't like, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'd probably wear. Now, if I was on a show, would I wear that? No, I would probably dress up a little bit. But you know what? Katie kept it true to herself. Yeah. And it might be the only thing that I like from her season.
The way that Katie dresses is like basically how I pack when I go to LA now. I'm like like a kind of cropped like boxy t-shirt, a bunch of jeans, and like various shoes, and that's it.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. But on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, it's weird. But that's not even what's happening with Rachel. She's wearing sequined rainbow dresses with random cutouts. Like, it is insanity. And I need some more information, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we can suss that out. I'll see who we can talk to about it. But I think your point about like Rachel saying, this is the best guys ever. I'm so happy. This week, I was just like, this is a narrative mess. Like, I don't even know what the narratives are. I don't know, like, what the arc of this season is other than, like, a mess. And that's what I was just sort of like, this is a disaster. And also, yeah, it's just really not good.
I don't think that, because I think it's hard because of the two people on it. Like, they don't have enough time to build the actual, like, plot or storylines or even build the characters. Like, yes, we love Nate, or loved, we'll get to that later, but like, why? Because he like was nice and made us laugh for an episode. Like, we don't really like, I just feel like usually by this point, the week before hometowns, there are favorites, and we can like give you 10 bullet points on why there are favorites.
Totally.
But because it's been so like the time is cut in half, we do have favorites, but it's like based off of 1 5-minute date.
Right. It's so true. And disliking people is the same thing too. It's like for so little reason. Like, like now I'm out on Tino because he had a weird hissy fit. Well, we don't know what's going on there. But
one meltdown that he apologized for, and I'm like, ugh, can't pick him.
I thought that Gabby looked really shook before her date with Nate. Because when she was sitting at that high top with Rachel and Jesse came over, I thought she looked really, really nervous and like kind of like gaunt. And I was like, oh, she really doesn't want to break up with him. Well, I didn't know that at the time, but then when I was in retrospect. But like, she just seemed off that morning. And it was just a very weird beginning.
Yeah, I feel like them like panning to the or cutting to the boys talking and being like, he's such a great guy, he's so amazing, they have such a good connection. But, you know, he also has a kid and like, you know, maybe this is what that is. And he could easily be going home today. I was like, oh, he's going home. Like, you knew he was getting broken up with.
Yeah.
And she kind of just jumped straight in, like wasted no time.
Did she though? So, okay. So this is what I want to talk about. This whole depiction of her breakup with Nate was baffling to me. First of all, it was painful to watch. Absolutely painful. She's like hyperventilating and just can't find the words. She's clearly like so upset to be breaking up with him, but like just knows it's not right for her, which I respect. Like I think on this show, there's like often like a stigma with parents or whatever of like, you know, in the past, they've like referred to kids as like baggage or whatever. And if she's not ready for it, she's not ready for it. That's fine. But I just think that like, what did they do all day? How much time did they actually spend together? Like, what did they do before she actually broke up with him? Like, we didn't really see anything. And it was really difficult to tell, like, what was actually going on.
What happened?
Yeah. It just kind of, like, came out of nowhere. And there was
it felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, I was like, oh, she just, like, sat down and broke up with him?
And they had to have done something before that, right? And, like, even their conversation early in the date when he was, like, telling her he'd been to Amsterdam before, but it was during COVID, so there was nothing to do. Like, that was awkward and stilted. And so I was just like, why is she so upset? Like, even though they had that first great one-on-one and we liked Nate because of how he was like calling out the other guy for saying he was trying to control women. Since then, we've gotten like nothing with Nate except for like him, I don't know, being like very zealous about Gabby and the few moments he's on screen. But like, I have no idea what they connected over and like why she was so into him. And this week there was like no evidence either. I was completely baffled by it.
Their one-on-one when he talked about being a dad and she went into like her situation with her parents. I feel like they connected over that. Like, I thought he was going to win. I'm still so confused. Like, she even said it's so hard because it's you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it's you what? Like, you, it's, to me, I felt like she was saying like, it's you. You're who I want to pick. I can't. Which I agree with you. Like, if she's not ready to be a mom, I don't know. I'm
curious for your opinion as a parent. Like, you know, if you were Nate, like, would you be offended by that? Would you be like, let's give it a shot and see how it goes? Like, what would you say? Because he didn't fight it, or at least not that we saw.
Yeah, but I feel like it seemed like he had run into this before. Like, he seemed very like, I get it. And like, I knew, he even said like, I knew it was going to be hard for me in this situation coming on the show. And I'm like, I don't like, so if I'm Nate as a parent, I would never want to be with someone who said that. So like her saying that to me, if I'm Nate, I'm like, obviously this like sucks, but like that closes the door. I would never want to be with someone who thinks of my kid as like something so extra that they can't be with me, even though they're clearly obsessed with me. Like,
yeah,
that would be a huge turnoff for me if I'm Nate. But I feel like Gabby's overthinking it. You're not her mom. She has a mom. You're Nate's partner, and you will end up falling in love with this kid most likely. Like, we're not at this moment right now, we're not asking you to be her mom. Like, down the line, could that eventually you're going to be hopefully a great stepmom, and obviously stepmoms are another mother figure. But like, I'm like, we're still at like point A. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you get engaged, you meet the kid, you're going to be around the kid, which Gabby would be. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you're not ready? Like, is something wrong? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe because I have kids, I'm like, it's not rocket science.
Well, she's obviously really scarred from her relationship with her mom. And I think, you know, she says that forthright. So she's like a lot of fear there. But I don't know. I mean, I think that I talked about this last week with Emma Gray. Like, I think because the show is building to an engagement, it seems like probably a bigger deal than it has to be. Like if she was just like, I'm building towards choosing to date Nate and see how it goes, like she probably could deal with that. But because of the engagement aspect of it, I guess it seems like a much bigger deal. But
no, yeah, for sure. I'm just like, you still have to get married. Like this engagement is not going to be a 1 month thing. You know what I mean? It never is for these people. Even the people that last, like, I'm trying to think who else besides JoJo, Rachel, how long were they engaged?
Rachel and Brian,
Yeah.
they got married, like, I can't remember if they got married pre-COVID or not. I think they did. So they were dating for like 2 or 3 years.
2,
like
3
a while.
years. Yeah. Yeah, I would say the minimum is 2 years. Like that's probably a very quick situation for a couple that came off of this show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I also just have to say, I do not think Nate seemed nearly as upset as she was. And like she was shattered and he seemed like he wanted to cry, but he couldn't get there. Like he just seemed like he couldn't make the tears happen.
If you're him, I would like there's probably so many emotions. Like you're probably kind of pissed.
Yeah, sure.
Like you've known I had a kid this whole time.
Right. That's true. It's true.
So did your mind change in the last week, or have you always known this and you just really liked me and wanted to spend time with me? And then also like it's your kid. Like I would be a little like, fuck you, my kid's amazing. Bye.
Yeah. And also like
I do think she's making a mature decision if she really feels like I can't do it right now. But I don't know, maybe because I'm a parent, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. I can't speak to it, but like I get that. Like if someone's sort of like, sorry, your kid is the deal breaker here, like seems like there's hard to come back from that. But
yeah. I also just feel like, and I'm not dating right now. And I don't think I ever felt this way. So I don't know. Maybe you feel this way, so you would be able to speak to it better. But like most people have like, I won't date a guy with a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you feel that way, why was Nate there that long?
Yeah.
Like it's usually not a like, usually some people are open, some people aren't. You know, it's like a kind of like a yes or no thing. So I feel like it's weird that if that's how she feels, and if you've known that, then why keep him on so long? And then half of me is like, is he really gone? Who, like, you want to pick him? Are you bringing him back?
I have to assume she kept him around because she was incredibly attracted to him. I mean, she kept kissing him and like, I just think that's probably explains a lot of it. And you know what, Gabby? Do you? I support that. I don't know. I just think he didn't seem that upset. Like, I think he'll be fine. Which leads us to Nate's emerged so-called scandal. I'm curious how you feel about this. We haven't talked about it that much in depth. So just a recap in case you missed it. Reality Steve published a lot of text messages from a woman named Kelsey who dated Nate for 18 months. And in that time, she never met his daughter. She didn't know the daughter existed. And it also turned out that there was a 3-month period where he's also dating someone else. So he cheated on her and also kept his daughter a secret from her for whatever reasons. Nate has yet to speak at the time of recording.
No way, he did comment.
He did? What did he say?
Yeah, I think he commented on the post and said there's 2 sides to every story.
Oh, okay. I have a feeling he'll be on Bachelor Happy Hour tomorrow. We'll see. I feel like he's got to be. I feel like they have to let him speak. But anyway, was it hard for you to watch Nate knowing that he had, has some sketchy dating history?
Not at all. Like, I don't think I cared at all about it. Watching it. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. The only thing that for me, I'm kind of like, I'd love to hear what he has to say. Cause I'm also like, there's a good chance that he was just like hooking up with this girl on and off for 6 months and hooking up with the other girl. And it wasn't like an exclusive boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. And in that case, if he was never taking her seriously and they were just hooking up, did he do something wrong?
She met his he met her family. And I think she met his twin brother. By the way, Nate is a twin, which I learned from this whole saga.
Yeah, I did not know that.
So they met each other's families. 18 months, like even if it's not like sleeping over at each other's apartments or like hanging out every night or whatever. Like that's like a pretty long, to quote Jada Pinkett Smith, entanglement. And so I think it's fair to say that's like to not find out about someone's, child, I think is like pretty upsetting and like just makes you question everything that happened in that relationship. The other
but
piece,
was it a relationship?
Well, that's my thing is I think that he did not take it nearly as seriously as she did, which then calls into question like his approach to dating. He also just might not be like actually looking for something that's serious, but like I just don't think that I don't think this makes him that different from so many other men who've been on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's okay to cheat. I don't think it's okay to lie. I definitely don't think it's okay to hide your child. But it seems like he met her family. Okay, you met his twin brother. Like, it just seems like maybe they were both seeing the relationship differently, which who knows if that's all Nate's fault or a combination of both. I don't know her at all. I only know what I've seen on this show of Nate, and what we've seen on this show of Nate has been all green flags. There hasn't been a single red flag from Nate on this show. So I don't know. But again, to your point, do I think that 99% of the guys in the show have probably cheated at some point in their lives? Yeah.
I think so too. It's a bummer. Like, it definitely changes my opinion of Nate. And like when I saw the breakup with Gabby and that he wasn't that upset, I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't take dating that seriously, or maybe he doesn't access those feelings so quickly, or I don't know. Like, I don't know. I need more information to really know one way or another about him. I also like don't feel that mad. I'm kind of relieved he's gone. Like, I'm kind of relieved that like he's like off the show because she sent him home, because we don't have to like deal with this for like, we don't have to like caveat our conversations about Nate or like have to adjust our opinions in any way. So I'm just sort of like,
also, I would like to get some sort of answer sooner than later.
I know. I just would like to hear from him. I really hope he does some interviews. Maybe we can get him on the show.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm interested to hear his side of it all, but
me too.
The only part of it where I'm like, that sucks is not telling about his kid. I get not meeting his kid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, especially if, as it seems, he did not take this seriously at all. I get not meeting the kid, but not even mentioning it is a bit upsetting. Odd. Yeah.
Yeah. And also it's like, so do you not consider that a big part of your identity? Like, it like raised a lot of questions of like, who.
Also, this was only like a year ago or something, right?
Yeah.
And
basically.
It's very much a part of his identity on this show. And not only from his conversations with Gabby, but even his off-camera conversations with the guys. All the guys said he talks about his daughter 24/7. He's like, which to me, I'm like, that doesn't seem like, I guess he could be, but like, is he faking it 24/7? Like, he has no reason to fake it with the guys off camera. You know what I mean?
More likely to fake it with that woman, Kelsey.
Yeah.
And, who knows? I look forward to hearing from him too. When you said hiding a child, I could just think about Pusha T. It's all I could hear. Pusha T talking about Drake.
He wasn't hiding his child from the world. Right? He wasn't hiding his...
Who, Drake?
He wasn't hiding... No, yeah. What was his line? He was like, I wasn't hiding the world from my child. I was hiding my child from the world. I don't know. I can't remember the line. You know what
Classic
I'm talking
Drake.
about?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I actually had a dream about this last night. I had a dream about Drake. I was like interviewing him. Whatever. I love Drake. Who doesn't? Anyway, a couple other Nate comments. Loved Nate's flannel shirt jacket. Hated the length of Nate's jeans, and they just were like really weird. I was like, on the top, I felt he looked seasonally appropriate, good Amsterdam style, and on the bottom, it looked like he was about to go to like a beach bar in Venice, California, and it was confusing to me.
I feel like he's dressed like that this entire season. Like, that's how his pants always are. So, like, that's his look.
Obviously a really tall guy. He was still towering over Gabby, even though she was in like 3 or 4 inch heels, and she's 5'8", so very tall.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just his look. In general, it seems like people are struggling with the weather.
Definitely. Also,
like, what do I wear?
Yeah, is it cold?
So I'm like, I feel like it's barely cold. You know what I mean? Like, it's cold, but not freezing.
Yeah, because they're in Europe, and it's like probably late April. So yeah, it's not. You still need a jacket, but it's hot in the sun, so they don't know what to do.
I have that reminded me of a question I'll have, but it's for the next one-on-one, for Rachel's one-on-one with
All right. Should we just get
Zachary.
to it? Let's do it. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code Visible24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Zach and Rachel, run it back. The Hannah Brown tulip date. I can never forget it. I was
Also, another second one-on-one.
Yeah, both of these guys. That's true. I wonder if they asked them to do that. I'm really surprised Zach got this and not Tino. Very surprised.
I was shocked.
Maybe Zach deserved it because his first date sucked so much, even though he said he loved it.
Well, this date wasn't amazing.
I know. So weird. Callie, would you ever want to go to a random field and have a hot soaking tub waiting for you?
Nope.
It's really weird. Also, because there's no jets and also nothing else happening. The sound of the water splashing always freaks me out a little bit. Thanks.
I was actually thinking while watching this date, because obviously Zach was my last date. I don't know how anything could top it, but then this one topped it. And I was just I don't know if you're easily impressed or feel like you have to say this, but you've gotten 2 shitty dates.
So shitty. But he seems to be really enjoying it. And they ride bikes. I can't really ride a bike. I did learn as a child, but then I never really did it a lot. So if I was given a bike, I would have a hard time.
I don't do it a lot now, but I feel like everyone rides bikes. I saw the post credits where they were both struggling.
She was the seat's too high. Yeah.
I'm I don't know. I feel like you just hop on a bike.
Yeah, not me. I don't know.
Well, not them either.
I was just okay, I'll take the bus. So I just
I don't feel like I rode bikes that much, but I did do a triathlon once and had a train. And that has biking in it, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Zach's the real meat of this, no pun intended, the real meat of this date is Zach tells Rachel he's lost 80 pounds and he used to be overweight and he couldn't love himself until he couldn't be in a relationship until he came to love himself, and now he does. And they shared a love of therapy and how therapy helped get them through. I thought the most interesting part of that conversation was when Rachel referenced going to therapy because of what happens on Clayton season. I was glad to hear that. I think she probably needed it. Who wouldn't after that? So this is probably the most therapy forward season of The Bachelorette ever.
For sure. Very, very, very therapy heavy season, which we are fans of therapy here.
Absolutely.
But I thought Rachel said, yeah, I started going to therapy after Clayton season and it means so much to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm so you went to therapy for 4 months?
Yeah.
That's a big difference than what he's talking about. What? Stop.
I know.
You started going to therapy literally 4 months ago. It's just not the same. I'm glad you did it. she was like, yeah, and I'm just going to keep doing it. And I'm like, I hope so. I hope after 4 months, you don't just stop. That's not really how it works. But I was just I truly was like, what? When she said it.
Yeah, so they got home from Clayton season in November of 2021, and they started filming this in March or April, or I think it was April of 2022. So yeah, she had maximum 5 months. Yeah, holidays. So yeah, it's about 4 months. But I'm glad she started doing the work. I was actually wondering if either of them were able to talk to a therapist while filming, she or Gabby. They have a staff psychologist or whatever, but I think it's usually for the contestants. Brad Womack, the second time he was The Bachelor, had his therapist come on the show. So who knows? But I hope if they needed the help, they got it. But yeah, that was just, the whole thing was pretty boring. And
no, it was completely boring. There was nothing other than that conversation, there's nothing that you needed to know about that date.
I know. For me, the only thing was it was the running back of the head.
The only other thing I would
no creativity. Say,
yes. Only other thing I would say is that I was a little shocked about how much Rachel was into it. I was like, wait, is he her favorite?
I know. She did seem really into him. It seems like it's a Zach and Tino world. Poor Avon. Although maybe it's for the best. I know. Zach just doesn't do it for me. I have no interest. Never did. The fact that he liked the previous date so much was really a red flag for me. I was just like, dude, you're enjoying this?
He's just very robotic. I think in real life, if I had to guess, he's probably in the top. I'm thinking of all the guys. He's probably in the top 3 of actual good person. He seems like he's actually a good person.
Yes, he does.
And probably the guy that you'd want her to actually pick. If you think about it, feel like he'd be a good husband. He's probably better off camera, more personality, and a good person. But I need a little spice in my life.
I know. It's just super boring, but I don't know. She seemed like she does seem like she likes them. It's very, very bizarre. Gabby's next with her group date. First, she tells the guys that she sent Nate home to tell them she was really upset. That's a weird move. Maybe she was lonely and needed some entertainment or something. But doesn't that just make them feel bad? If you're all the other guys, are you just do you even care about us? I don't know where you go from there.
She said she was I'm telling them or what she say? She's I want you guys to know everything.
Yeah.
But I'm I don't know. You don't need to know this. You seem distraught.
My only theory on that is perhaps it's a direct reflection of what happened with Clayton, where he did not tell them that Susie had left.
Yeah.
And she was so hurt and betrayed by that maybe she thought oh, I should tell them so that the same thing doesn't happen. That's my best guess, but who knows? If I'm the guys, I'm just okay, sorry, what do you want us to do about that? We're still here.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Because otherwise it's just inexplicable. Anyway, the next date, she's bounced back and they go to see the sex expert with a whip and didn't care for this date. Honestly felt bad for the guys. It's I think it's fucked up. They had to go through this weird whatever. I don't know.
They always do. It's just who actually dates like this? No one.
Also, if I'm Gabby,
I can't remember.
I don't find this fun. I find it awkward and weird. And I'm just let's have these conversations privately. I know. She seemed into it. Who was
She seemed fine.
Jason wouldn't answer if he would go down on her. And he was we'll discuss that one-on-one.
Yeah. Also, I can't remember who said it, but they were it's not what I was expecting this date to be.
I think Logan said that.
Okay, yeah. And I was yeah, everyone's probably what? This is the day before.
Why would they expect
the day before hometowns?
So bizarre.
And then they didn't even get a cocktail party.
And I couldn't tell who was who when they were blindfolded. The camera was moving so quickly, I couldn't keep up with what was happening to which guy. So it was very confusing. Who did she ask if they slept with more than 10 women? Was that Eric or is it Johnny? I can't remember.
Eric, and it went up to 100.
Right. Eric does strike me as someone who slept with a lot of women. But Devon says it was Johnny. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, maybe it was Johnny. Either way, that wouldn't mean anything to me. Didn't seem like it did anything to Gabby either. She was just laughing.
Yeah. She's probably whatever.
per usual. Who cares?
Which I know. I agree.
Also, can you imagine them doing this on The Bachelor and asking women?
No.
Have you been with, like, it's just so weird.
Or having them like take off their clothes and pouring wax on them? Absolutely not.
Or have them being like, will you give him a blowjob?
Yeah. Oh my God. Which, by the way, whatever you're comfortable with, people, you know, do it your way. I'm kind of in love with Jason. I it's like definitely in part because he's Jewish and he seems nice, and he was wearing a mezuzah, which is like the necklace he was wearing is like a Jewish thing, and I was like, wow, he's like really going for it, and I loved it. But like, does he have a chance? Like, who is Gabby picking now?
What do you mean? It can't, like, it just, all this doesn't make sense. It has, like, it was was
Jason
Nate,
or
so
Eric.
I guess it's Jason now. Eric.
I think it's going to be Eric. I think it's like randomly going to be Eric. Because this is jumping ahead, but in the scenes for next week on the hometowns, when she's like telling a guy that she's falling for them, she's wearing a leather jacket. And I went back and I watched it a couple times. That date is with Eric. So I think that she's like really into him.
What?
I know.
We haven't seen anything of him.
I know. There's no way she's picking Jason. He's too quiet for her. I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe she's picking him. Maybe
Logan?
I don't see it. No, Logan's gone. He has COVID.
Oh, well, is he done for the whole show?
Okay, let's talk about Logan. I just do not buy this COVID situation. Here are all the things that don't make sense. Why didn't Jesse tell the guys why Logan went home? He's just like, Logan's gone and we're not having a cocktail party. Shouldn't he be like, Logan's gone and we need to test you all immediately for COVID, or like you need to isolate? Like there was no conversation about it.
Wait, I thought he told them that they had that he had COVID, and they were like, "Is he okay?"
I don't think so.
They definitely said, "Can you tell us if he's okay?" And he was like, "Yes."
Yeah, he told Gabby that he has COVID, but he did not tell the guys that he had
maybe
COVID.
Not on camera, because why would they ask? I mean, I guess maybe, I don't know. The guys definitely asked him, "Can you tell us if he's okay?" And he said yes. But I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they didn't say anything about COVID. Maybe they just said he left for personal reasons. Yeah. That's weird. Also, then they just had the rose ceremony the next day. So like.
I know. So like, what's the COVID protocol? I just want to note they're on a cruise, and I watched the Diamond Princess Cruise documentary on HBO. Cruises are a hotbed for COVID. So I hope they're being safe. Also, where did Logan get COVID? Like, he's been on the show for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So,
and no one else got it?
Yeah. Is he really the only one?
And then if he does have COVID, he quarantines for 5 days and comes back. You don't just say like, "Oh, my love connection's gone because he has COVID. Sorry, better luck next time." Like, I didn't know he was off the show.
Everything having to do with Logan is suspicious. I just think that something is not right. I'm not calling him a plant. I did call him an actor, but like, there's just something not right with this whole Logan situation. I don't get it, and I'm positive there's something going on there. So that's what I really want to know about. I'm just like, what the fuck with Logan? Just doesn't make any sense. And
interesting.
How can he not tell the guys? Like, they might all have COVID. They've been with him all day. Like, they're on a cruise with him. Cruises it's just, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Also, Gabby, she didn't really care. She probably just only cared that she didn't have another guy to go on a date with or choose from. But
she did not show. First of all, maybe because of the whole Nate situation. I feel like after that, she's like, "This is nothing. Bye." Yeah,
she's just like, let's move on. Let's just get
the
to
whole
hometowns.
Show moved. I didn't think he was kicked off the show based on how quickly it was just like, "Oh, no worries."
There's no way he's coming back. She's not being like, "Oh, we barely spoke, but I'll come see you in your hometown." Sure. There's no way.
She's barely spoken to all of these people. Nate was her guy.
Johnny going to hometowns is like, I wish I'd put money on that, because I did not see that coming.
Wait. One more thing. Can I just say, 3 weeks ago, Rachel had like 2 guys and like a thumb. And now all of a sudden she has like a decent Final Four, and Gabby has 3 people that we have no idea what's going to happen with.
If she picks any of them, it'll just be ridiculous. But I'm telling you, she tells Eric she's falling in love with him. So, I mean,
I'm going with Jace. I hope Jason wins.
I do too. But like, when I start to like someone, I want them for myself, and I don't want them to win the show.
There's no way Nate comes back.
I don't think so. She was, I mean, maybe, but she was like just really sobbing.
I
And
know.
also, if he doesn't go to hometown, if Nate doesn't go to hometowns and she doesn't even like see, I think she sent him home this week because she was just like, I can't go to your hometown and meet your daughter. Like, I feel like not that that was necessarily going to happen, but I feel like she was just too worried about that, and so I just don't think she can move forward with Nate without like kind of dealing with that whole thing. So
this also kind of like came up from nowhere, like
everything with the Nate breakup
was.
Yes, there's been no narrative storytelling this season. Like everything is so disjointed. There's been so many Rachel tears. There's just been it's just been a mess. And to your point earlier, there's not enough time to show these guys. So we don't know anything about them.
Yeah. But like when I saw Nate's name on the date card, I was like, of course, she's obsessed with him. And then like 2 minutes later, I was like, oh, she's breaking up with him.
I can't stress this enough. The Nate breakup was such terrible television. Like, just terrible. It was boring and uncomfortable.
And cringe.
Yes.
Lots of cringing. I was just like, I'm not supposed to be here.
And like a lot of like kissing sounds. I just hate that. It was awful. It was awful. I was just like, I can't believe this is the first 30 minutes of this episode. It's unbearable.
The episode in general, because it's like we haven't even spoke about Rachel's date.
Yeah, so they go to Adam, which if you do crossword puzzles a lot, you're familiar with because that name is very frequently in them. And they do a cheese competition, like a cheese strongest man competition, basically. Tino wins. Kind of surprisingly, Tino, the least ripped of that group.
Yeah, I was actually shocked that he won.
I liked it, honestly. I like that about him.
I'm not a Tino fan, but I will say that I agree with you on this. I feel like Tino, this whole challenge was about more mind over matter type of thing, and he won.
Yeah.
Basically because he wouldn't allow himself to lose.
Agreed. Also, I just think I find him attractive. I like the like you're fit, but you don't work out all the time type of body. So I think he's cute.
Yeah, I don't need like a super ripped.
Yeah. So he's cute. Also, like, clearly doesn't wax his chest. I always forget about that, but I feel like so many of these guys do. So, whatever. It's cool. I'm into Tino. In looks only. His personality blows.
I was going to say, still?
No.
Yeah, Tino, so Tino like, wins the cheese date and then crumbles.
Doesn't get
shortly
the rose.
After.
Good pun. He doesn't get the group date rose. Tyler gets it, and he like literally just loses his mind. He breaks down. He's really angry.
It seemed kind of like a toddler tantrum. Like,
yes,
I didn't get my way. Can you believe this? Blah, blah, blah.
It was pretty bizarre, and he was just like shocked by it too. I think it just really shows you how big his ego is, and he thinks like he's so surprised that any other guy can have such a huge. Could have a connection with Rachel at all. Like he's just so surprised by it, and he just seems like a jerk.
Yeah, but even like this like made me think about the date the other day where he was like, I didn't feel seen. Tino, this is not your season.
Yeah.
Like, grow up. Every other guy is acting mature about it. Like, huge turn off for me. Huge.
I agree. His personality is terrible. And then the next day when he apologized, when he was like, I just really wasn't there for you guys. I should have been there to support you and be a part of the group. And it's just like, this is fake. Ugh. This is like words you like know that you should say, but you don't believe.
Also, support me? That's not really what I was asking for. You should have just acted like an adult. That's all I really needed from you.
That's not what Ethan was looking for. I'm very confused about how next week is going to work.
Wait, last thing. My favorite, I can't remember who said it now. I think my mind's just like blanking over lack of sleep. But my favorite line, because I used to say it all the time, was when they said, Tino's acting like a baby back bitch. I love it. Love it.
I think that was Tyler. I think it was Tyler. It might have been Ethan, but I think it was Tyler. And I loved it as well. I thought it was really funny and true. He was acting like a baby back bitch.
Truly.
It was great. Those guys seemed like they like each other, minus Tino. So, okay. So next week, Rachel is going to the hometowns of Tyler, Avon, Tino, and Zach. Gabby's got Eric, Jason, and Johnny. How is this going to work? 7 guys? There's no way it's just in one episode, right? Like, is it a 2-week hometown? Also, I cannot.
We're meeting the families for 2 minutes and 15 seconds each.
I can't believe we're at hometowns. I honestly cannot. Like, this is flown by. It's wild. And I hope they split it up. Like, just these last few weeks need to be good to like really like build to something. And as they said, and this is actually really true, the very beginning of the episode, Gabby and Rachel were like, hometown's like a whole different deal. It's like a whole different season. And I think that is true because you end up spending so much more time with those people because like there's still like a month left of filming, right? So the people that go to this stage, you get to know a lot better.
Well, we won't if they stuff in 7 hometowns in one episode.
I really hope that doesn't happen. I really want, I need to get to know these guys if I'm going to be emotionally attached to them in any way for these relationships. I need more.
We shall see. We shall see.
Certainly will.
I'm very interested in the previews of like some of the families. So let's see where they're going. They don't know. They probably haven't edited the episode yet. We're all going with the flow here. No one knows what's happening. We'll see.
Meanwhile, September 21st, Bachelor in Paradise is back. I'm pretty excited. They like released the first picture.
Is it the 21st or 27th?
You're right. Tuesday, September 27th. Can't wait. It's going to be great.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see who from this season's on there. If Nate is not on, I'm going to be pissed.
Me too. I mean, I want to see more of him for sure. I hope he finds some love. I also just like really want Nate to explain what happened so we can all move on.
Yeah,
and, like,
I feel like he needs to be semi-relevant for us to know more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want him to be able to speak. Like, you know, give Nate the mic, put him on a podcast. Maybe he can come on Bachelor Party.
I also feel like after hearing that about him, I would like to see how he does dating multiple women because I feel like that would be very, very telling.
It's a great point. Like, how does he handle information flow and what does he do? Does he play like Gabby? Wants to know everything? Great point.
You know what I don't need? The twins. I like don't care at all.
Oh my God, I forgot they even existed. First, I thought you meant Emily and Haley from Ben Higgins' season. Those guys?
They're both getting married now. Or one's married, I think, and one's getting married. Yeah, one just got married. Yeah, no, the guys from earlier this season, I don't even remember their names.
Me neither. It was another twin. I think it was like Joe and Jay. Justin. One was Justin. One was named Justin, for sure.
No idea. I couldn't tell you.
I think it's Justin and Joey.
Like, you're essentially getting on because you're a twin. Just, we're being clear about that.
Of course. Absolutely. Final note for the week. Callie, congratulations on Davide and Ekin-Su winning Love Island.
I don't know if that's on U.S. time yet, but I already knew that, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert. They do win. And I think I'm okay with it. I absolutely love Davide.
I know you do. That's why I congratulated you.
But I think Jem and Luca probably were a better couple. So, you know, I hope Davide's a star. He needs his own TV show. Have you kept watching or did you give up?
No, I gave up. Too much time. I'm sorry. It's just too much. I had to watch Indian Matchmaking. I'm getting really excited about selling the OC.
There's a scene in it that's like all-time reality when he said, I licked her tit or whatever. Like, you have to just at least get to that episode.
Okay. Licked her tit. Good. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll seek it out just for you. I'm on vacation technically, so there will only be one Bachelor Party episode this week and next week. So this is it. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great week. We'll be back next Monday.
I was going to say, so we will both be on vacation next Monday.
Yeah.
Potting.
Yes.
Potting it up.
We're so committed. I mean, got to see what happens in these hometowns, you know? Can't wait. Thanks to Devon, Manze, and Mike Wargon for producing this episode. We'll be back. Have a great week.
Adios.